my name is Cameron and welcome back to my channel, Which Way to Wicked, where we talk about all things love, light, and especially tarot. So guys, today we are going to be doing such a magical reading today as we find out all about your first child with your future spouse. So if you want to find out about the personality traits, the zodiac sign, and even possibly the gender of your first sweet little angel of a child, then this is going to be the reading for you today. So let's go ahead and take a look at your group picks today, shall we? So for group number 1, we have this dark green highlighter coming through. For group number 2, we have this very pink and fabulous highlighter, coming through. And last but not least, we have this lime green colored highlighter making an appearance today as well. So guys, I want you to go ahead and take a very big deep breath in. And now I want you to please let it out. And now I want you to close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, I want you to think about your very delectable future spouse. And then I want you to think about the sweet little angel that you are going to have with said yummy future spouse. Now, think about their personality traits, what their zodiac sign might be, what gender they might be as well. And then whenever you feel ready, please open your eyes, and whichever highlighter your eyes lands on first, then that, my dear, is going to be the reading for you today. Now, if you feel called to more than one highlighter here, then definitely feel free to check out those extra messages as well, because who knows, you might end up having twins or triplets. So yeah, if you want to find out more about all that, then let's go ahead and get into the reading today, okay? Hello, group 1. My name is Cameron, and I am going to be your tarot reader today. So if you felt called to this dark green highlighter, then hey, hello again. I'm so excited to have you here, and let's just go ahead and get right into this reading today, because I'm so excited to divulge all of the information on your first child with your future spouse. So let's go ahead and get into this. Let's start shuffling through these cards. So, Spirit, you heard me. Will you please give us some information as to what group 1's first child is going to be like with their future spouse? By the way, I want to say thank you so much for deciding to stop by and hang out with me. I absolutely adore making videos like this with you guys, and it just means so much to me to be able to even have people who are interested in watching my videos like this. So thank you so freaking much. It means so much to me. If you are new here, then maybe consider liking and subscribing to my channel. That would mean so much to me as well. But yeah, let's see what wants to come through here. So Spirit, group 1, their first child. There we go. Can we get some personality traits? Can we get some potential gender indications? And even some astrology signs as well. Let's get some cards, please. Sorry, you guys, this deck is being a bit stubborn today. Maybe we are picking up on a bit of a stubborn streak from your future child. Your first little baby. They might be a bit stubborn, a bit headstrong, okay? Let's get one more card. But honestly, that makes so much sense, because a lot of children, almost all children, are pretty headstrong in their early years. They know what they want, and they just want it, and they're not afraid to throw a tantrum to get what they want. Well, let's see what these cards have to say, okay? So the personality of your first child. Ooh, right away, we are already getting a zodiac sign coming through, which makes sense with what I was saying about your first child being very stubborn and headstrong. Well, we have the Emperor coming through, and this talks about Aries energy. So your person could be an Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, or in Venus. And you guys, let me just tell you right off the bat, you have someone fiery who you are going to have to deal with. Okay, Aries people, they are very passionate, they are very headstrong. Once they make a decision, once they decide that they want something, like nothing is gonna get in their way. Okay, and yeah, they can have a bit of a temper. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm not gonna sugarcoat things. You're gonna have your hands full with this first child. Okay, they are definitely going to be probably a bit sassy. They may or may not back talk with you, but again, your child, just because their sun sign might be in Aries, and that might entail that they're going to be very passionate, very headstrong, it's still very important to look at all of the other zodiac signs that are going to be having a big placement within their chart as well. Because my sister, for an example, she is an Aries, and yes, she can be very headstrong, she can be very stubborn, but she also has quite a quiet temperament. She doesn't really throw a lot of tantrums. I mean, she is older now, but the thing is that she has a Capricorn moon and a Capricorn rising, so I feel like that really calms her down and it helps her kind of touch grass a bit. So yeah, this is dependent on what your other placements are going to be for your child, but just going off of this, yeah, I feel you're gonna have your hands full for sure. Now, especially when they're younger, okay? Because whenever they're younger, they don't have that emotional maturity yet, so just be prepared, okay? Be prepared. The terrible twos might be a little terrible. But after you get past the terrible twos, then I think that everything will start to even out, okay? But going off of that, we have the 5 of Cups coming through. We also have the 7 of Pentacles. I mean, just going back to the Emperor, because I was mostly talking about the zodiac sign that this card represents, and I didn't really actually get into the personality traits of the Emperor. So with the Emperor coming through, I definitely think that your child is going to be someone who likes to be the boss all the time, because the Emperor does represent the king, right? The king of the roost, the one who has all the control and all that. So I definitely think that your child, they are going to be very confident. They are going to be the type of person that has a lot of leader-like personality traits, and I think that this is someone who likes to take initiative and action. They like to take charge, and so I definitely think that your child is going to be the one that probably has a lot of little friends whenever they're younger that like follow them. They might be like the leader of a big group of kids. It makes me think of like the Little Rascals. Didn't the Little Rascals have like a head honcho of the group, and they were the ones that would lead them and tell them what to do? That is kind of what I'm seeing here. So yeah, I just see your child being someone who's the boss, okay? They're the boss. They like to be the boss. And I think that people really do just follow them naturally, because your child just seems like someone who, again, has a innate sense of confidence, and they have like a big aura, a big energy about them. So I think that people naturally would just follow their lead, okay? And I also think that they might have a bit of control issues as they get older, because as you can see, this king here, he has like these puppet strings, and he is just controlling all these people down there. So yeah, I definitely think that your person might end up having some control issues. You know what's funny about this is I am picking up on some Capricorn energy here, because Capricorns are known for being quite controlling, and we do have the 7 of Pentacles, which does talk about some earth energy as well. So yeah, I definitely think your child might be a fire sun sign, so Aries, especially Aries, but they could be a Leo or a Sagittarius. But I think that in the other placements of their chart, maybe their rising, their Venus, their moon, they could have some Capricorn energy there as well, or maybe some Earth energy in general. So Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Now, what I'm also seeing here with the Seven of Pentacles is that your first child is going to be someone who is very, very hard working, because the Seven of Pentacles does talk about someone who is able to work towards their goals and work very hard towards them, even if they're not seeing results right away. This is someone who is patient, who is willing to wait for their season to arise. And until then, they'll just keep toiling in the fields, and they'll keep doing everything they need to make sure that they create these sturdy seeds that will turn into like crops one day, right? So yeah, I just think at the end of the day, your first child is going to be someone who's fiery. They're going to be someone who likes to be the boss and wear like the boss pants. But they're also going to be someone who can back up that fieriness, that passionate side of theirs with a good amount of patience. They're going to be able to back that up with a good amount of just, I don't know, I'm just going back to patience. That's what I'm thinking of here. They're just going to be very patient, and I think that that's very beautiful. Very, very beautiful to see. Very patient, very hardworking. Now we also have the Five of Cups. So this usually talks about looking back on your past with a bit of regrets. This talks about even being a bit of a negative Nelly. So your person, your first child, they might have the tendency to have a lot of regrets. They might have the tendency to be a little bit of a pessimist every now and then, which again makes a lot of sense on whenever I was talking about like that Capricorn side, because Capricorns, they are the type of people who do tend to be, they're realists. And they're so realistic that sometimes they tend to veer on the edge of pessimism. So I think even though your first child might be someone who comes off very tough and very confident and assertive, I think that they do have a bit of insecurities here. They may even have some anxiety that they want to hide from the world, and the way that they hide it is by giving off this very assertive, very confident nature. But in and of itself, that confidence might be a bit of a mask that they wear. So I do think, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, that your first child might have some type of anxiety that they may have to battle with, or some type of insecurity here. I think that they are going to be kind of critical of themselves and of everything that they've done. If they have made any mistake, I see them just analyzing and reanalyzing all their mistakes to a T, and always looking back on that. It's kind of making me think of Virgo energy now, because Virgos, they are really big analysts, and they are very judgy. Virgos can be kind of judgy, especially towards themselves. And so I kind of see your person like really critically analyzing everything they've done wrong and just thinking of the ways that they could have been better. And so yeah, I definitely think that that's something that your child is going to have to really work through and try to get past here in order to be able to completely step into this Emperor energy here. At the end of the day, though, I do see your child being very successful in the future. I see them being someone that is going to do so many amazing things, and I think that if they hang tight and keep remaining patient and hard working, that especially with this like bossy side coming through, I see them maybe becoming a CEO or becoming the boss of something. I just see them being someone who has the capability to really rise up in the ranks and just do something awesome with their lives. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing so far. Ooh, I have like a little hair on my cup of coffee. Oh, I hope that wasn't there. I hope one of the co-workers forgot, one of the workers at McDonald's, that they didn't forget to wear their hairnet or something. Ah! You guys, I was trying to open this and the coffee splattered on me. Oh gosh. Anyways, I am getting off on a freaking tangent. Let's go ahead and move these cards up and let's take a look at your oracle cards today. So, Spirit, can we get some messages? Oh, and by the way, I did tell you I was gonna say what gender they might be. Give me a second. I want to see what these oracle cards are, like what they have to entail here, and then I'll get back to what gender I feel like they might be. But if I'm being honest with you, I am picking up on more masculine energy here with the Emperor coming through. So yeah, they could be more masculine, or they might be born a male at birth, okay? But I do see them having a very masculine type of energy here. So let's see what wants to come through as well. As I'm saying that they might have more of a masculine energy, we have the Queen card coming through. Okay, so I feel like what I'm picking up on here, I think for a lot of you guys, your child is going to be born a female. They're going to be a woman, a little girl, but they're just going to be someone who has more masculine traits. Like, they might be a woman or a girl, but they're not going to be soft and gentle and sweet like Snow White. Like, no. This is going to be someone who is a leader. This is going to be someone who knows what they want and they go after it. They just act like a boss. And traditionally in our society, whenever we think of a boss, they are depicted as being a middle-aged man, right? So even though I think you guys are gonna have a little girl, I think that they might come out of the womb acting like a middle-aged man. I just see them having boss tendencies. I see them being as strong and tough as any guy. And so yeah, I definitely think that they're gonna be someone who is not afraid to play with the boys. And I think that they might end up being like the leader of their own little boy gang, okay? It kind of makes me think of Wendy and Peter Pan and the Lost Boys, how Wendy ended up being like the leader in a way of the Lost Boys. I know that Wendy was depicted as being more feminine, like more like motherly and things like that, but again, I just feel like if you take Peter Pan, Wendy, and the Lost Boys and you turn Wendy from being this sweet like motherly like figure and turn her into a boss, then that is your child, okay? Yeah, I definitely think they might have a lot of like boys that are friends. Okay, so for your other cards, we have Detox coming through. Again, we have the Queen card. And last but not least, we have Rescued. Okay, so with the Detox card, this is definitely making me think of health. I think that your child is going to be someone who is very big about their own personal health. This might be someone who, as they get older, might be very anal about what they eat. They might have a really specific workout regimen that they do all the time, but I just see them being someone who is very aware of what they put in their body and very aware of their weight and of what weight they might want to attain, try to be, right? Now, also with the Detox and the Rescued card coming through, I'm kind of hearing that your child, they might end up being someone who is drawn to having a career where they can help people or rescue or just be there for someone emotionally, physically. So I'm hearing jobs such as being a firefighter, being a doctor, being a therapist, a physical therapist, a psychiatrist. Those are kind of the same things, but a psychiatrist is like the same thing of a therapist, right? I'm seeing a social worker, but at the end of the day, I am just hearing that your child, as they grow up, they want to be there for other people. And I think specifically they want to be there for people that may struggle with anxiety and struggle with the tendency to be kind of pessimistic or a bit negative here. I just think that this is something that they can deeply relate to because they themselves really struggled, I think, as a child with anxiety and with their own negativity. And so I think that as they get older, they may decide that they want to do something, have some type of job where they can be there with kids or even adults who they can relate to, who might be struggling mentally, emotionally, even physically. I just see them wanting to be there for these type of people, okay? I see them wanting to help people, and I think that that's really sweet. And at the end of the day, with the Queen card coming through, I just think that your child, again, they're the boss. They're the boss. I think that they naturally have this type of queenly or kingly vibe to them. And I think that people pick up on that energy, and it doesn't matter where they go. I think that they are always going to have people who are going to follow them and follow their lead because they just seem like a leader. So yeah, you guys, that's what I'm seeing for you today. I hope that you have enjoyed this reading, and if you did, then please make sure to give me a really big like and to subscribe to my channel because I post new videos every Monday and every Friday, and I would love to have you stop by this side of TarotTube again sometime, okay? So I love you all so much, and I hope that you have a fabulous rest of your day, friends. Mwah. Bye. Hello, group 2. So if you felt called to this super cute and fabulous bright pink highlighter today, then hey, hello, my name is Cameron and I am going to be your tarot reader today. So I'm gonna go ahead and just place this off to the side like so, and let's start shuffling through your cards. So we are asking the question, sorry guys, I had to take a deep breath in and let it out. But what is your first child with your future spouse going to be like? So Spirit, you heard me. Please help a girl out. Help a tarot reader out. A humble tarot reader. Please give us some information. For group 2, their first child. What is their personality going to be like? What zodiac sign might they be? What gender might they be as well? Please help us out here because I want to be able to give them an accurate and a beautiful reading today. So what wants to come through? First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for deciding to stop by and hang out with me. I love making videos like this, and to be able to have people like you who decide or feel called to watch my videos, that just means so much to me. I feel so honored, so thank you. And if you're new here, then hi. Again, my name is Cameron. If you like this video, if you like my vibe, please subscribe to this channel. That really helps me out, and I would appreciate it so freaking much. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about your first child with your future spouse. So let's take a look at these cards. We have the 3 of Wands coming through. Ooh, we love that. We have the 7 of Swords. Very interesting. Very interesting. And we also have the 7 of Cups. Okay, you guys, so this is really interesting. The first thing I am hearing right off the gate, right off the bat, I think that's the right phrase, is that I feel like they are going to be very secretive. I think that your child is not going to tell you exactly everything that they want for themselves, or they might decide to just hide pieces of themselves away from you. The reason why I'm saying that is because we have the 7 of Swords, and the 7 of Swords is usually depicted as being the card of deceit. And with the 7 of Cups coming through, this talks about thinking about your future, thinking about all of your wishes, all of your dreams that you want, everything you aspire to be. And so for this to come together here, I'm just getting the message that I feel like for some of you guys, they're not going to want to let you know what their dreams are. Maybe it's that you make them feel as though there is a certain path set out for them that you want them to pursue. Maybe you are a doctor, or maybe whoever you're married to, your spouse, has some type of business, and maybe from the moment your baby comes out of the womb, you are just going to be saying like, oh, I would love for you to be a doctor like me. I just feel like that would be so awesome. Or maybe your spouse has your child start working with them at a young age, and they're just saying like, oh, whenever you take up the family business, whenever you do this, whenever you do that related to the family business, it's going to be so awesome. And so yeah, it could be that maybe you just have, maybe you even unknowingly place these expectations on your child, and they just feel like there's a certain path you want for them, that you want them to go down, but they don't want to do that at all. And instead of telling you this, instead of saying like, yeah, I don't really see myself taking over the family business, or I don't really see myself being a doctor, I don't think that's for me, they're instead just going to maybe nod their head or be like, yeah, one day when I do that, one day when I become a doctor or take on the family business. But instead, they have a whole other dream for themselves. Now, for others of you, it might be that they have some type of secret that they're afraid to unveil here. The main thing that I'm picking up on is that maybe for some of you guys, your child might be interested in the same sex. They might be a part of the gay, lesbian, all the other words, community. I'm sorry, I can't think of all the terms right now. I'm so sorry. But I know there's gay, bisexual, lesbians, trans. I'm sorry. I'm terrible. I hope I'm not disrespecting any of you guys. I just have a really bad memory. I'm so sorry. But y'all know what I mean, right? Maybe they identify as being a part of that community, and they're afraid to let their parents know about that, right? So just keep that in mind as well. But yeah, I just feel like your child is not going to be completely honest with you. They're going to be hiding something from you. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But I do think that your child, they are going to be quite dreamy. I see that with the Seven of Cups. I see them maybe at a young age just like looking at the stars and thinking of all these dreams that they have for themselves and all these things they would love to do. But what's so beautiful about your child, and what I'm clearly seeing here, is that this isn't going to be someone that just dreams about these dreams. They're not just going to be dreamy. Like, no, they're going to have these dreams, but they're going to go after them. They're going to be very action oriented. And so, if I'm being honest with you, even though I feel like whenever they're younger, they're going to be less honest with you. They are going to maybe go along with what they feel like you expect for them, saying, oh, I'll be a doctor, or oh, I'll take on the family business, or whatever it might be, etc., etc. But I think after they hit the age of 18, or after they move out and they start going to college or whatnot, they are going to, from then on out, be very honest with you and say, like, this is what I want for myself. I'm going to go after it. I know it's not what you planned for me or what you expected, but this is what I want, okay? And I see them being more so like that after they get older and they feel like they are at an age where they can finally go after their dreams and be honest about it. Maybe they feel like they're no longer under your roof, so you can't really do anything about their plan. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing here with the Three of Wands. I see them having a certain plan for themselves and going after it. Now, I do think I want to pull just a couple more cards because I feel like we only got a couple messages, a couple different messages here. Spirit, can we get some extra information on Group 2's first child? Can we get some extra information here? Please give us some extra personality traits. Maybe give us another idea as to what gender they might be, or what zodiac sign they might be as well. Can we get some specific extra information, please? Give us some extra details on their child here. Again, I feel like, man, that message is very similar. The card that came through is very similar to everything I've been saying so far. Oh, okay, here. We have a zodiac sign coming through. So, we have the Two of Wands, which talks about looking towards your future and thinking about everything you want to go after here. I mean, literally, the girl is wearing, or is holding a globe. They're holding the universe, right, in their hands, and they're looking off towards the distance, thinking of their future, thinking of their dreams. So I definitely think whenever they're young, they're going to be very, very, very dreamy. They might have the tendency to kind of get lost in their own head, get lost in their own thoughts as they think about everything they imagine for themselves or the future that they want to go after here. But then again, I see them slowly but surely going after their dreams and really being very action oriented, which we love to see. Now, going off of the zodiac signs that I'm picking up on for your person, for your first child, with the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles, this talks about earth energy, so your child could definitely be an earth sign, sun, moon, rising, or in Venus. So I'm talking about these signs: Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. And Capricorns, Tauruses, Virgos, these are the type of people who are all about that slow and steady rise to finally climb up that ladder and become successful. So I definitely think your child, your first child, is going to be very patient. They're going to be the type of child that is willing to spend months, even years, going after their dreams here and making those dreams a reality. I definitely can predict right now that your child, I feel, is going to be very successful. I think they're going to have very high aspirations for themselves, but they're not just going to sit there and just dream and dream and dream. No, like I said 1,000 times already, they are going to go after those dreams, and they are going to attain them no matter what they are, no matter how big those dreams might be. They have the type of practicality, the type of resilience and stubbornness that only really earth signs tend to have. So that's very lovely. I definitely see them becoming very successful, making that money. So that's very awesome to see. Let's see what else wants to come through here. I definitely think that a lot of Capricorns, I feel like a lot of Capricorns, they have the tendency to kind of hide their feelings a lot. They have the tendency to not let people know exactly what they're feeling. They're the type of people that will hold their emotions back until it gets to a boiling point, and then they explode and have a big tantrum. Okay, I say that with experience because I am a Capricorn and I tend to be like that. I do not like to let people know what I'm feeling. I'm very private. I'm just not really open with a lot of people because I feel like that's not their business, right? And so I have the tendency to hold things in so much to the point to where I might end up going off the hammer. Did I say that right? I think I said that wrong, but yeah, I'll just get so mad and so upset, and it'll just get to a boiling point and then I explode. Okay, and it's not fun to be around me when that happens. And my dad, he was a Capricorn as well, and he was exactly the same way. He would have these like violent explosions. He wasn't like violent towards us or anything, but he would, if there was anything in the vicinity around him, he would be violent towards that. Like once he ripped off our, there was like this stuff on our cabinet. I don't even know what it was, like parchment or something on the cabinet. He ripped it off. And another time there was like a toy next to him and he picked up the toy and threw it across the room. So yeah, I feel like your your child, they might definitely end up kind of being like that. Now, maybe their temper tantrums that they have might not be that big. It might just be that they're gonna yell and be all fussy and stuff. But again, I feel like they're gonna be very private. They are gonna keep their emotions more so to themselves, and that might just add in to that might represent some of the energies that I was picking up on here with the Seven of Swords, because like I said, that talks about deceit. And I just feel like alongside deceit, I just feel like your person, they're gonna keep things to themselves. They're gonna, your child, they're gonna keep things to themselves, and you might always be having to guess like what it is that they're feeling or what it is that they're thinking. And it may frustrate you a bit, because you may ask them like, hey, what's wrong? You look sad, or you look upset, or it just seems like there's something on your mind. And they might just say like, oh, yeah, I don't really want to talk about it. Or they might just say, oh, I'm fine, and just leave it at that. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing so far. Let's get another card here. All right, talking about your oracle cards. Literally, what were the words I was saying earlier? How your child is going to have that slow rise, and they're going to climb up that ladder to success. Well, we literally have progress coming through, and if you look at the background here, there is a ladder that we can see. So yeah, your person, I keep on saying your person, I'm so used to doing romantic readings, but your child, they are definitely going to be very hardworking and very patient when it comes to attaining their goals. We have child eternal. That's cute. It says a determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes. So whenever I think of Capricorn energy, a lot of the times Caps have the tendency to be the type of people that age backwards. Whenever they're young, they're very hardworking, they are very stalwart, they just act very mature for their age. But as they get older and they start to slowly but surely attain their dreams, as they get older, they finally start to relax more. They want to go out and play and party and just have fun. And I honestly feel like that's going to be the trajectory of your first child. They're going to be the type of child that acts like a grown-up whenever they're a kid. They are going to act very mature, but as they age and as they grow up, they are going to loosen up a bit more, and they're going to want to start to have fun and kind of just age in reverse. So I think that that's very interesting. Last but not least, we have trouble coming through. Okay, so it could be with the Seven of Swords that your child might end up doing some bad things. Maybe they might be a bit rebellious. So, especially with this King of Pentacles coming through, because the King of Pentacles, with Capricorn energy, Capricorns tend to have a bit of an addictive side to them. These are the type of people that might have the chance of becoming an alcoholic. They might drink a lot, or maybe they smoke a lot, or something like that. But even though I was saying that your child is going to be the type of person that ages in reverse, even though they're going to act very mature and they may not party a whole lot, that doesn't mean that they're not going to go and maybe sneak some beers, like try to get a fake ID and get some beers from somewhere and start chugging it down while they're studying for school, right? So yeah, I think that your child might end up being a little bit rebellious. Not all. This isn't a message for everyone's child here, but for a select few of you guys, they might end up being a bit rebellious, maybe getting some drinks and drinking excessively, or maybe they might get bum a smoke from someone and get a bit of a smoking habit at a young age. And if they are doing those things, then obviously I see them kind of getting into a bit of trouble, a bit of mischief there, and kind of keeping it on the down low and not letting you know that they're doing these things. Because I honestly feel like even if your child gets drunk, they might be the type of people that don't act drunk or don't seem drunk even whenever they are. They may act the same way that they do whenever they're sober compared to when they're drunk, so they might be able to hide it from you really, really well. Or maybe they just, well, they'll just know to confine themselves to their room as they're drunk so that you don't see that side of them. But yeah, you guys, that's kind of what I'm seeing so far. If I'm being honest with you, I don't really see a specific gender with your group, and it could be that maybe your person, your child, might be someone that has the pronouns they, them whenever they're older. Maybe they are not really going to fit into any specific gender, but it could also be that spirit just wants to be vague and mysterious right now, and they want to let you guess and be surprised by the gender of your future child. So yeah, you guys, that's what I'm seeing for you today. I hope that you have enjoyed this reading, and if you did, then please make sure to give me a really big like and to subscribe to my channel, because I post new videos every Monday and every Friday, and I would love to have you stop by the set of Tarot Tube again sometime, okay? So I love you all so much, and I hope that you have a lovely rest of your day, friends. Mwah. Bye, guys. Hello, group 3. So if you felt called to this super pretty and bright lime green highlighter today, then hey, hello, my name is Cameron, and I am going to be your fabulous tarot reader today. So I'm gonna go ahead and just place this off to the side like so, and let's start shuffling through your cards, because I'm so excited to see what Spirit wants to tell us and reveal about your first child with your future spouse. So Spirit, can we get some messages please for group 3? What personality traits is their first child going to possess? What gender might they end up being? And what zodiac sign are they going to have here? Let's get some messages. By the way, I do want to say thank you for deciding to hang out with me today. I love making readings like this for you guys, and to know that I have people like you who feel called to watch my readings, that just means so much to me. I am so grateful for you guys, and I just want to say thank you, okay? Now, if you are new here and this is your first time watching my videos, then please make sure to like this video and maybe even consider subscribing, because that would just mean so much to me. I would be so happy to get some more people to add to my family here at Which Way to Wicked. But anyways, let's go ahead and start talking about your cards. I'm gonna stop gabbing. I'm known for being a bit of a gabber. But let's see what wants to come through here. So first of all, we have the 9 of Swords. Oh, you guys, this is kind of sad to see. So I definitely think that your person, your child, might be someone that struggles a lot with confidence. They might have a bit of low self-esteem, or they might have a lot of anxiety here. I just feel like this is going to be someone who feels like there are always so many eyes on them, and I definitely see them being someone who is a bit more introverted. I don't see them being someone that likes to go out to parties a lot or go places where there are a ton of people, because that just makes them feel a little bit on high alert or something. So yeah, I definitely think your child is going to be someone who's more introverted. I see them being someone who struggles with a bit of confidence issues. They might have a bit of low self-esteem, or maybe they just have the tendency to be very judgy towards themselves and how they look. And I see them having some anxiety that they have to deal with as well. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing so far. Let's look at the other cards. We have the King of Pentacles. So right away, I am seeing that your child might definitely be a Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or in Venus. I'm also seeing that they could be a Taurus or a Virgo. What's interesting is that we've been getting a lot of Earth energy within these readings today. I think within every single reading I did, I mentioned how they could be a Earth sign. That's awesome. But anyways, yeah, they could be an earth sign, and with that earth energy coming through, it's safe to say that your child even though they have some insecurities they have to battle with, even though they have some anxiety, they're not going to let that stand in the way between them and success. They're not going to let that stand in the way between them and what they want to create for themselves and for their life here. So I definitely see your child being very patient. I see them being the type of child who thinks about what they want for themselves. They create a plan, so they're very practical. And I see them slowly but surely conquering this plan. I think that it's safe to say as well that your child is going to be someone who likes plans. They like to know what to expect for the future. I don't think that this is the type of person who likes surprises. I don't see them being very spontaneous. No, they like to plan for the future. They like to know what to expect. They like having like a 10-year plan. And so I definitely think that if anything ever gets thrown, like a wrench gets thrown into their life plan, or some surprise ends up happening or taking place that they didn't expect or have a plan for, I definitely think that's going to bother them to no end. This is not the type of child who is going to be someone that just plans a trip just like that. Like, no, I see them being the type of person who anytime they go on a vacation, I feel like they plan like a year in advance and they decide exactly what they're going to do throughout the whole trip, every single day down to the last second. They're going to have it planned to a T. So yeah, at the end of the day, I just think that this is someone, your child is going to be someone who likes to plan for the future. They like to know exactly what to expect. And I think that also just has to do with the fact that they do have some anxiety here. They have some anxiety, and so I feel like the best way for them to combat their anxiety is to have a plan for a plan for a plan, okay? So that there isn't room for them to have something to be anxious over, because they know exactly what to expect and what is going to be happening every single day, okay, going forward. We also have the Ace of Wands. Ooh, I'd love to see that. So even though your child is going to be someone who is very patient, they're going to be more practical, more realistic, maybe even a bit pessimistic at times, I see them being someone who does have a bit of a extra spark to them. I see them being someone who is very passionate, okay? And I feel like they are going to follow their heart, but the way that they follow their heart is in a very realistic way, and it's in a way where they strategize and plan for their future to a T, like I was saying before. So yeah, I honestly think that for a lot of you guys, your child might be someone who has very, very big dreams for themselves, and it might be dreams that people might look at and be like, how are you going to do that? So for some of you guys, maybe your child wants to become a influencer. Maybe they want to be, I don't know, a pop star or something. Or maybe they want to become like a Nobel Prize winner of something. Maybe they want to get a Pulitzer, be like an award-winning journalist or something like that. But I feel like whatever it is they want, it's going to be something that seems unattainable. It's going to be something that just seems like it's just a dream, right? And that dream could never become a reality. Whatever, I'm telling you this right now, whatever your child dreams for themselves, they are going to back up those dreams with a plan after a plan after a plan after a plan. They're going to have a plan B, A, C, D, E, F, G, every letter of the alphabet. They're going to have a plan for that, okay? So yeah, even though your child might have some very, very big dreams, they are going to go after those big dreams in a very efficient and a very just practical way. It kind of makes me think of Sydney Sweeney. I remember whenever, she's actually a Virgo, I think, and she went about going after her dreams and relaying those dreams to her parents in a very Virgo type way. She made like, I think, a 10-year plan or like different steps she was going to go after so that she could become a celebrity and become an actress. And I remember she made like a PowerPoint and she showed it to her parents and she said, this is what I'm going to do and this is how I'm going to become famous. And so she turned this dream and she turned what looked like something that would be too big to accomplish into something that she could accomplish and attain through a number of steps, right? She made it look more realistic by creating this PowerPoint or this list of things she was going to do to get to where she wants to be. So I just see your child being like that, okay? I see them being someone who has big dreams, but they also have a very realistic and practical side, and that is going to be how they accomplish those dreams, okay? We have desire coming through. Yes, literally look at that. Look at that. On the side right here, there is like a genie bottle, I think, like a genie lamp. And so, again, that makes me think of having these dreams, having wishes that you want to come true. And so, yeah, your person, your child, they are going to be very, very passionate. And at the end of the day, they're going to follow their heart. And I think that that is so sweet to see. They're not going to let their anxiety or their insecurities hold them back. They're going to conquer those anxieties, those fears, those insecurities. They're not going to let it stand between them and what they want for themselves. We also have Samaritan coming through. That is such a sweet card because this talks about someone who is just a good person. They're very neighborly. They like to help out anyone who needs help. So yeah, I just see your child being someone who's very helpful. I see them maybe whenever they're younger living in the house with you, being someone that will do the dishes or do the yard work. They're just going to be very, very helpful, and I think that you're really going to appreciate that about them, and I think other people are going to appreciate that as well. And at the end of the day, we have beloved. And guys, this is more so talking about you and your child, not so much themselves. I just think that you are going to adore your baby. You are going to love them so much. I think that they are going to be absolutely perfect to you, and I just think that that is so, so, so beautiful and so lovely. They're going to be the apple of your eye. I mean, look at this mother here holding her baby. You can see how much she loves them, how much she treasures them. It's her beloved, right? And I think that that is so beautiful to see. So yeah, and if I'm being honest with you, I'm trying to pick up on what gender your child might be. For the first group, I was able to pick up on a gender, but for the second group, I couldn't do that. And for you guys, I'm not really seeing a specific gender as well here. It is worth mentioning that for some of you guys, you might end up having twins here. The reason why I say that is because with the Samaritan, you have these two girls that look identical holding hands with each other. So yeah, you might end up having having twins, or it could be that your first child might end up being like your carbon copy or your spouse's carbon copy. I feel like they might end up. Hey guys, so my camera ended up dying, so I had to put it on the charger and whatnot. But as I was saying, your child might just be someone that looks exactly like identical like someone in your family, okay? And yeah, if you do end up having twins, I really predict that you would have a boy and a girl, so a son and a daughter for your set of twins. Now, it is worth mentioning here, even though I'm not necessarily seeing a specific gender, the mother in this picture, she is holding a son, a little boy. So take that as it resonates. You might end up having a boy. But again, as I'm saying, Spirit is kind of being a bit mysterious. They don't exactly want to let us know exactly what you're having. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. Spirit can be stubborn every once in a while. Maybe it's just that your first child, the gender of your first child, is meant to be a surprise, a fun little surprise. So yeah, that is what I'm seeing for you today. I hope that you have enjoyed this reading, and if you did, then please make sure to give me a really big like and to subscribe to my channel, because I post new videos every Monday and every Friday, and I would love to have you stop by this side of TerraTube again sometime, okay? So I love you so much, and I hope that you have a lovely rest of your day, friends. Mwah! Bye!